Welcome back to Sportsbeat. Today is July 7th, and this is episode number 20. I'm your host, Rob Drumm, and I'm joined in show here with our wonderful producer, Dave Warner. What's going on?
Not much. How's it going with you?
Well, 4th of July, there's fireworks that are still happening, and it's 7 days later, and they'll be happening all summer in most areas, I'm sure. It's just fun.
It's just fun, yeah. You know, you look a little overdressed.
Yeah.
I got the shirt. You got a tie on.
We had picture day at the county, so when I tried to avoid when I became a department head having my mug shot taken for the website, and so they finally were able to corner me one day, and I was wearing a polo on a Friday or whatever. So today we had a photographer come in and take some pictures and for the website. So I had picture day like in high school. It's great.
You could have had shorts on, though, and sneakers just to make it look really cool.
Actually, when they had, I was thinking the same thing, do the SNL thing but they don't. They had you had to sit in like a little stool and everything in your hands and like a portrait. It's ridiculous.
Geez. Yeah.
Anyway, continuing with our summer series of interviewing Diamond Dog players, this week we are going to be interviewing and joined by Chris Palmer of St. Rose College and the Diamond Dogs. Chris, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Not too bad, not too bad. So you are on your way to Albany, so we appreciate your time. So for those people who may not know who you are, tell us a little about yourself.
My name's Chris Palmer. I'm originally from Long Island. I attend school over in Albany at the College of St. Rose, and this is my first summer here up at Mohawk Valley.
How do you like it so far?
Oh, I'm loving it. Every day is something new, and it just keeps rolling.
And then you're playing on the Diamond Dogs. Tell us how Travis found you or you found Travis, what position or positions you play, and then what's your experience been like so far with the Dogs?
So I had a little backstory with it because my brother played here in 2015 and 2016. So with that,
Nice.
I've always wanted to come here. It's kind of been a little dream. So once I made it to college, reaching out to Travis was the first thing I did my freshman fall.
And
then
go ahead.
He worked with us here. Sadly, we weren't able to come last summer, but it was cool that I was still able to get a summer here.
And you also play ball for College of St. Rose as well?
Yes, I do.
So what
I'm
did
a pitcher.
what did your college season look like this past year?
It was interesting. Hard to get rolling. We had half the games. So we were playing our best baseball after 15 games, and that's normally right after spring break. So it was tough to get going.
And we know, Travis doing everything he does with OESJ, and, we had a bunch of coaches on here locally. What kind of like restrictions did you go for? What did away games look like? Give us an insight from a collegiate standpoint, what was behind the curtain in terms of, preparation, protocol, and all that kind of stuff that happened for you guys this year?
It wasn't that restricted, but when it comes down to it, we were still getting tested twice a week. Our travel rosters were cut short. We weren't able to stay over anywhere, so we had to drive and come back, then drive again the next day. So it kind of just made it more of a hassle than anything else.
Yeah. And we heard that from a lot, even in like Herkimer here, they were doing a lot of double headers all over the place and, getting games in where they could, schedules and all that kind of jazz as well. I'm sure you guys over there, same kind of thing within your conference.
Yeah, we weren't able to go outside our conference, so all of our games were cut short. We went from having 48 to 22.
That kind of makes a dent in what your profile looks like, especially as you're playing ball. It really dampers, maybe not so much the record, but the exposure you're getting, especially when you're in college. You want to play as many games as possible.
Oh yeah, it's hard to come off a year and a half of not doing anything and then barely get to do anything.
Yeah. So you're here for the Diamond Dogs, and talk about your season so far. What are you looking forward to? What are your hopes and expectations for the season? You got any games circled on your personal calendar?
I know there's a Friday versus Amsterdam coming up soon. That's definitely circled on there. But for the main part, we're just looking to go out with a bang and see how far we can get.
Nice. And you had a game last night and read I read the report coming in. Close one, but what happened there?
We let it get away from us for 2 innings. They put up some crooked numbers, and we dialed back, and the offense just picked everybody back up and brought us back into it. Just a tough close.
Yeah, and final score of that game was 9-8, and we'll cover that in our press box segment that we do after this as well. So you're here in the Little Falls area, not related to baseball. What does a day look like for you personally?
Well, I live over on the Nellis farm over in Fort Plain. They're lovely host family.
Nice.
So there's me and two other boys there. We pretty much wake up, make breakfast, work out at the farm, and at the end of that, we're in the car going to a game.
We were when we talked to Mike Bichetti, he was saying I made the stupid question, I guess, of what does an off day look like for you guys? And he goes, off day, we haven't had one yet. So what do you guys, maybe not so much your off time, but what do you do in downtime? Are you enjoying the area of Little Falls? What areas have you gone to?
Me personally haven't gone anywhere, but I know a bunch of people went to Nine Corners one day.
Nice.
The off day I went over to my buddy's house, but we just came off 5 straight, so it was a little more boring than it was an off day.
You got to get your rest in where you can, huh?
Yeah.
So you guys do have a game coming up here, and then you've got I think a 3-game homestand starting tomorrow. What's the outlook for that? Starting with I believe it's the Albany Athletics tomorrow night, right?
No, I think it's Utica. It's a doubleheader, and it's a 100% chance of rain. What do you think the odds are of that game going?
Yeah, that one we're checking the weather day to day for that one.
Yeah.
So that's fun. So rain really is. You guys have had a handful of games already impacted by rain. Maybe we need to get a dome over there. You think we could swing that day?
Yeah. Let's put it in the DRI.
There we go. You think what do you think? A dome over there would be good. That way we got no rained out games at home.
I mean, any way we can play works.
Yeah.
The way that dugout looked the other night, filled with mud, you need a dome, right?
Yeah, that was not a fun one.
Yeah.
So what's your, I don't want to say your favorite part of playing with the Diamond Dawgs, but what are you hoping to get out of playing for the Diamond Dawgs? Other than, everything that goes along with it, the exposure, it gives you something to do for the summer. Your bats are still moving. You're able to pitch.
I think more or less just being able to test, develop, and learn. It's a trial and error that you can go out, work on what you want to work, and then don't have to worry about the outcome's going to be the outcome no matter what.
Right. And as you move forward in the season, I know when we had talked to Mike, and I know Chris Ezzo works with us at Herkimer for the athletics there, and obviously you guys are hoping to bring home a championship. But as a team, as a collective, what's your goal look like for the season, other than to play?
Well, obviously it's always bring home a championship, but I think everybody individually wants to become the best they can become and play the best baseball overall.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much best you can be is what you're shooting for, right?
Yeah.
And jumping back to college for a second, you're at the College of St. Rose, and it's been a rough year for the college overall. Are you as a student impacted by any of the program stuff going on over there, or you're still going to be able to graduate on time and still play baseball on your way out?
Yeah,
Did we lose him?
The loss of that sound is. There he is. He's back.
There you're back. Now we're got you.
Back?
We're back. Fire away.
He may not have gotten the question, so.
I had said I know you had mentioned that you're at the College of St. Rose. I was wondering with the time.
I think I cut out during your question. Are we good?
Yeah. So the question is that you're at the College of St. Rose for school, and as a student, have you been affected by any of the stuff going on in terms of the hardship for some of the programs that have gotten cut? And are you still expected everything's going to be good for graduation and still play baseball on your way out? Technology, man.
You'd think that there would be solid cell service all along the interstate.
It's on the, and it's just for people who aren't are listening at home, he's on the thruway, and you
Yeah.
figure going to Albany, you're going from here to Albany, you shouldn't be a dead zone that bad.
Nope.
Chris, are you there?
No, you'll know he's there when you hear the,
Yeah, I hear the
road
sound.
noise.
Yeah. Give it just a second here. You figure, yeah, I really, there
There.
it is. We got the sound back. Are you there?
Yeah,
So
I'm hanging on.
that we're loving it, man. We were just talking that you're driving along the thruway to go back. You figure that there would be better cell service along a major interstate, but welcome to upstate New York, I guess.
Yep, good old upstate New York.
So the question that I was asking is, you had said that you're at the College of St. Rose for school as a student, and they've had some hard times over the last couple of years with some programs getting cut and everything. In terms of you being a student and playing collegiate baseball, everything's still good? You'll be able to graduate on time, still play baseball on your way out?
Yes, I'll be able to graduate my 5th year now because with the master's, just because that extra year. But none of the programs I'm in have been cut, so hopefully smooth setting from here on out.
Nice. And for your jumping back to college still, what's your are you going to be on the team again next year for your final year there?
Yes, I'm actually going into my junior year in the class, but I'll be a
Gotcha.
sophomore on the field, so it's my 2nd year.
Nice. So that's good. So and anything on your calendar in terms of what you want to explore here in Little Falls? Where can people find you?
I mean, as much as exploring goes, we don't get much time to,
True.
but I've definitely become a fan of the spring water over in Herkimer.
Nice. Nice. And just so in case people, we can't see you because, technology and throughway and rural and all that kind of jazz. What if people want to find you when they're watching a game or they're in the stands, what number do you wear for the Diamond Dogs?
I wear number 29.
Nice. Anything else you want to tell us before we get you out of here and let you get back to Albany?
I don't think there's much else, but thanks, guys. This has been great.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And safe trip on your way out there and good luck. Well, especially with the game and the rain and Mother Nature and all those other fun factors that come into playing a baseball game. And that was Chris Palmer of the Diamond Dogs. He's their pitcher and number 29 over there. We really got to make sure that we should talk to somebody about maybe getting everything, cell phone service along the thruway. Figure that one out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are going to do a quick break here, and we will be back for our press box segment in just a moment.
Visit My Little Falls and stay connected with the latest news, information, and events in the city and the area. Our mission is to generate interest in the community and connect residents in a more meaningful way by facilitating deeper conversations about how these stories will shape the future of the Mohawk Valley. Join thousands of weekly visitors who stay up to date with feature stories, interviews, videos, our event calendar, and print publication, the Mohawk Valley Express. It's about timely local news for the community, keeping citizens informed about important issues, telling about the people who live and work here, and giving locally owned businesses the opportunity to reach a very targeted audience of locals and tourists alike. It's a whole new form of media-rich content developed specifically for today's mobile lifestyle and listeners. You can download our iOS app in the iTunes Store, listen to our country music streaming radio station, or sign up for a weekly newsletter. Stop by today at mylittlefalls.com. You'll be glad you did.
Nice. See, we're getting there. Things are
Getting there,
well.
yeah.
See, you're the brains behind it. I'm just the beautiful face. That,
Oh God, you're gonna let me switch cameras off.
yeah, camera off. Save. We got to have insurance policies for this kind of stuff. Well, we're going to do our press box segment. The Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs lost a close one yesterday versus the Auburn Double Days. Auburn didn't need to think big. They allowed small batting to do the work for them. The Dogs would try to rally back in the 8th inning to tie it up at 8. But just like that, the game was over. Final score there was 9-8. The Dogs are next in action tomorrow with a doubleheader, but that's weather permitting, because, of course, we have to have weather permitting over everything. And as Dave just said in the break, we got Elsa coming up here, so weather's going to be interesting for the next probably 7 to 10 days to,
Well, I don't know, a couple of days.
because there's another system someplace for.
Yeah, there's always a system someplace.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, to be a weather person, you get it right, And I jokingly tell Bill Cardis all the time, he has the best job in the world. He gets it right 30% of the time. He gets like a pay raise or something. But we got a good weather team here, and hopefully we can get some games in. So,
Yep.
Sticking with baseball over in the Major League Baseball, AL East, Evil Boston still holds first place. Zach Steele's probably happy as all hell with that one. Rays are back 3.5 games. Blue Jays are back 9 games. The Yankees continue their slide this week at 9.5 games back, and the Orioles continue to be irrelevant at 25 games back. I tried to crunch some numbers earlier on lunch today, and I don't want to say that they're like mathematically eliminated, but I just don't see how it's possible. But hell, what do I know? I'm not a math guy. 25 games back and you're half the season.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
I love how you say that.
I mean, it's
irrelevant.
And the best part is my dad's a big Orioles fan. So I called him yesterday night as I was prepping this, and I said, "Oh, wow, and he goes, "We're not going to talk about that." And I'm like, at least they're not in last place, Dad. Not going to be all season.
Yeah.
So over in the NL East, the Mets continue to hold their lead again in first place. Phillies are back 4 games. Nationals are back 4.5. Atlanta back 5, and Miami is back 8.5 games. Obviously, with Elsa coming up in there's going to be some delays and stuff like that. So we'll start to see some shifts of games and all the craziness that comes with that. And Florida's having a rough time with just about everything. You got the high rise that was there, and they took that down out before Elsa came in, and
Good move.
yeah, just a rough time. So NBA Finals are currently underway, and last night we saw Game 1. The Phoenix Suns held off the Milwaukee Bucks 118-105. Chris Paul is playing in dominant fashion, leading the way with 32 points and 9 assists. It's great to see CP3 finally get his shot after a career of being in less than fortunate circumstances with some players that just don't give a damn. Personally, for me, and I wrote this as I was getting ready, but it's awesome to see a player who went to a team that wasn't really in the playoff conversation. They'd be mentioned here and there as like an outside force, but he didn't do the super team thing. He didn't do the let's get a merry band of everybody together and have 5 of the 10 top people in one team to roll through, or do the LeBron James, I'm going to go to the Lakers, and anybody who wants to win a championship, come with me.
Yeah.
And it's just cool to see him take the lead as a veteran in the NBA and bring everybody together, add that stability in the locker room, kind of act as like a player's coach, and that bridge between, and they're on their way.
Yeah.
Old school. I love to see the old schools, set up to it, but you don't see that anymore because everybody's now, let's see what we can do. Max contracts, super team, and
Yeah.
I don't want to watch the Super Friends. If I want to do
Everybody's feeling a little nostalgic here, wanting the old school
Yeah.
sports in particular.
I mean, if I wanted to watch the superheroes, I'd go to a Marvel movie. Like I don't want.
They're number 1 in the world right now.
Yeah,
They've outclassed Star Wars and everything, the Marvel series.
true.
So,
If you want the superheroes, watch your Marvel. If you
Yeah.
want to watch good stuff, watch this. And it's just great to see some old school.
I'll just spend time watching Black Widow or something.
There you go. Comes out this week. We need to get an endorsement. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Jumping over across the pond, we got the UEFA Euro Cup football is currently underway. As of this recording, the game is currently underway, and I'm very upset that I'm not watching it because it's currently tied. And
Is it?
Yes.
Go Italy.
Italy won yesterday. They beat Spain. I realistically watching a lot of that just because I can. Right now, England is playing Denmark, and they're going into extra time. As just when we started, it came up that they're doing that. Yesterday, PKs, Italy, Spain. I think Spain's better than both of England and Denmark, so I don't think Italy's got much to worry about. They just got to play a full game.
Yeah.
If I saw the highlight, England's goal was on a Denmark own goal, so they haven't even technically scored themselves yet. So figure that one out. But the finals for there are going to take place at Wembley Stadium on Sunday, July 11th at 3 p.m. So whoever wins this game between England and Denmark is going to play punch their ticket and go play Italy on Sunday. So that'll be fun. Be interesting to see if England wins and they're in their home turf too.
That'd be cool.
You're in Wembley. You got home crowds right there.
Yeah.
But I think Italy's going to take this one. So the biggest news in sports this week is Sha'Carri Richardson. The drama about the Olympics has polarized just about everybody and put a cloud over the opening ceremonies here. She was suspended for 30 days due to a positive marijuana test, and unlike most places, she owned it and said that she had been told by a reporter in a press conference that her biological mother had passed away. She had a panic attack, and she smoked some weed while she was in Oregon for the trials. I'll note that marijuana is legal in the state, but is still considered by the IOC, which is the International Olympic Committee, to be a banned substance. Her 30-day suspension has already started, and she could have participated in the 4x100 relay, but was left off by Team USA. Much conversation has been generated by this topic, and more fall is likely to happen as we go over there, especially as the Olympics start. Personally, and this is me speaking, it's 2021 and it's weed. It's really been proven it's not an enhancing substance. It's more for recovery. And I think it's absolutely insane to me that you've got team doctors that are all over that are going to prescribe these narcotics and all the bullshit we've seen with those, but weed is still considered, oh, it's the devil. Like we need to get there. And not being political about it, but I pulled up just to see who's on the International Olympic Committee that like does all the doping stuff, and WASP doesn't begin to describe it. I think the average age of anybody on the committee is they're a bunch of old men.
What are you coming after me for?
I'm not coming after you because
I'm a wasp. Don't be spanking me. Most people don't even know what that is.
Yeah, that's true. Look it up. It's good for you. A little education. But no, I get it, way back when and everything, but I think we got to get with the times here and just to see, I mean, she's breaking all records. She was doing.
You know what the P stands for that, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're coming after Protestants now.
Yeah. Oh, here the religious are coming after me. We're gonna get canceled next
I'm getting
week.
the Baptists after your ass.
There we go. They're gonna be doing liturgical dance on your front lawn next week.
And they're going to knock it on your door.
Yeah.
I've got a brochure for you.
Isn't
like every 5 minutes.
No, I'm good. But no, it's really sad to see that she's out, and I can't. I lost both my grandparents last year, and that was hard enough in a setting where I've got my family. We knew grandma was going to pass away. Grandpa died unexpectedly, kind of thing. I can't imagine sitting there as you're doing pre-trials for the Olympics. You're running, you're in a locker room, COVID protocols, the 2 years that these athletes have had to qualify, and a reporter coming up to you, hey, did you just hear your mom died? Like, I can't put myself into that situation. And kudos to her. She did the right thing. She owned it.
Yeah.
She said, yep, I did it. And this is why. She said, and I take responsibility for it. But I don't know. It's weed. Yeah. It's freaking weed. Like, come on. And in the States, she did it and it was legal. But it's the IOC's like the NCAA and whatever.
All right.
Yeah.
Off your high horse.
Yeah, I'm done with that soapbox for this week. COVID cases in Tokyo have also shown to increase as teams are starting to arrive. News was reported by local agencies there on the ground that the games will likely start with a state of emergency over the games. I have not seen what the regulations will be, and I've tried to look earlier today and last night. However, families cannot travel. That has been reported. Alex Morgan made headlines this week after she was asking what mothers with babies do, which that seems like a question that somebody may ask, have an answer for already since the games start in like 2 weeks, but they didn't have one. You'd figure after a year and a half plus of getting this all planned and hashed out, there would be more in place. But Alex Morgan had said that there are already teams over there in the same position she is, and there's no direction on what to do. So nursing mothers can bring babies, but there's no talk about what that is. Can they bring a sitter for when they're playing games? Is there going to be someplace and someone to watch their kids? Families can't come, so spouses can't come unless they're also on the team. And, and I understand, everything is crazy. We heard, from local sports people, just the craziness, and you heard it from all the people that you heard when we, sports got back. But you figure it's one of the biggest sporting events in the world every couple of years. They had a full extra year to prep for it. They would have some kind of policy for it.
I think it's, number one, people just don't want to make a decision.
True.
Because then they have to own it.
Yeah.
And so everybody's
That's a good
scared.
point.
You know what? Just make a damn decision.
Yeah.
This is the rule.
Yeah.
However they want to go with it, but make the damn rule and then follow the rule. It's really simple. Life is simple.
Yeah. But athletes arriving in the host country without any kind of direction from the Olympic Committee, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, looking forward to the opening games and hopefully a great Olympics with, some fanfare and go Team USA. So And we're going to end with this one. Last week, there were big news in NASCAR. Chip Ganassi sold his entire team, and Jeff Gordon's leaving the booth and heading back in to be an executive in racing. So naturally, I hadn't had a chance to reach out to Tyler Head at the Atlanta Motor Speedway or Kyle Stevens down in Charlotte. So I did, and they will both be our guests next week to talk about everything NASCAR in that racing world. Also, I'll note this weekend, tune into NASCAR because they are in Atlanta at the Motor Speedway for the Xfinity and Cup Series. Talked to Tyler yesterday trying to get everything hashed out. Already getting hectic and crazy, and they're moving and press events. And
Awesome.
so he is going to be probably relieved after all is said and done because this is the second, I believe, the second time they've been down there because when we had him on earlier, it was ahead of the race.
Right.
So now we're going to have him on after the race to talk about everything. So next week, NASCAR talk, race talk, sports talk, and here we are. So, coaches and staff, I know high school sports are mostly over, but if we have any Legion baseball or local baseball scores that are out there for the summer or any other team, please send us your sports reporting at Sportsbeat at mylittlefalls.com. For updates and highlights throughout the week, find us on Facebook at Sportsbeat with Rob Drumm. For all your local news, sports, and our podcast home, find us on mylittlefalls.com. For Rob Drumm, here with Dave Warner. We'll talk to you next week.